Hey everybody, it's your favorite girl, Tyler Nicole Taylor, TNT. If you love me, welcome back to another video. Thank you for coming back. And if you're new, thanks for joining us. You know, stay a while, hit the subscribe button, like this video when you're done, and comment. So yeah, I'm just gonna get into it. So this is a story time. I don't know why I said it all sad like that. Maybe I need to buck it up. So this is a story time, right? I actually met someone. I know I talk about being a single gal on here all the time and single life and making fun of my singleness because, I mean, shoot, laugh at my pain, why not? But I did. I have to be honest. I met somebody. This is a true story, so obviously I'm going to leave this person's name out of it. But before I get started, I just want to say my life is like a romantic comedy, except it's just really not that much romance, and the shit really ain't that funny. But I mean, in terms of the things that happen, yeah, like the stuff that happens to me in relationships and talking to people and getting to know people, swear to goodness, it sounds like a group of people sat in a room and wrote this shit down and turned it into a script. And it's just like, what? So when you're living in it, that shit ain't funny. I mean, it's funny like a couple of weeks later when I look back on it and I laugh because I'm goofy. Well, actually, it really don't take me a couple of weeks. It really just take me like a couple of days because I'm goofy as hell. But yeah, at the time though, it'd be real serious and really not funny at all, okay? So here's the skinny. A couple of weeks back, I reconnected with someone that I went to school with. Woo! I had to pause on that one. Alright, I reconnected with someone I went to school with, and this person was somebody that I knew in school. Like, I knew them, but like we weren't like friends or anything like that. Like, we were cool, we were associates, we had a lot of friends in common. We were coming up in the same age category, so you know, we graduated around the same time, you know, that kind of thing. Anyway, yeah, so fast forward, I guess, to now. That was just a little bit of a background. So basically, of course, you know what happens after everybody graduates and moves on with life. What do? You get on Facebook and you become friends with them on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and whatever things that you became friends with each other on throughout the years. And we have been friends on social media for years. Like, that part isn't new. I mean, like I said, we knew each other. We didn't have like a dislike towards each other. We just kind of ran in different circles, but we had friends in common. So anyway, ever since I started doing these videos, I guess I kind of been letting some of my personality shine a little bit more to people who actually don't know me. Like, if you knew me, then it's like, okay, she's just being herself. But if you didn't know me that way, like if you didn't really have much of a conversation with me or really got to understand how I think and how quirky I actually am, then yeah, obviously you would be shocked and surprised, like, wow, she's kind of alright. Or maybe you don't like me. I don't know. But that's neither here nor there. I digress. The point is, I think it was at that time that he realized, okay, she's actually kind of silly, like in a cool way, and we kind of started engaging in more conversation, just over like in the DMs or whatever. But it was never nothing even remotely close to like trying to hook up, not even ever. Like, it was just strictly just jokes and conversation all the time. And that went on for a while, but again, didn't think anything of it because, like I said, he's somebody that I kind of already knew. So having a conversation with him about whatever my topics were was fun because it was like, this person kind of knows me a little bit more than other people do. So it was like, you know, kind of some type of familiarity. Whatever, let me drink. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. So anyway, but it was through those conversations that we actually both saw how fun each other was to talk to. But it wasn't like, oh, I need to talk to you every day kind of thing. It was like very sporadic, every now and again. And the way this all transpired started from a freaking meme that I posted on Instagram. At least this is where I think it started. This is my version of the story. I don't know what his version of the story is, so it doesn't matter. He doesn't have a channel. So we're gonna talk about my version, right? Mine's the only one that matters. So no, I'm gonna try to be as accurate as I possibly can, but also I gotta insert my feelings and what I was thinking, right? So it's still gonna be from my point of view. Anyhow, so yeah, I posted some meme that said something along the lines of, you can't get to know a woman by asking her what you doing every day, or by texting her what you doing every day. And I think he liked it and probably like laughed or something. I can't remember if he commented on it, but it started to be a running joke that he would DM me sometimes, and sometimes he would text me, because we did exchange numbers at one point. He would randomly either DM me or text me, what you doing, every day. He did this for like a week, and that's when I was like, okay, he's an asshole. But I'm like, but he's my kind of asshole. These are the type of people that I'm friends with, right? Like, those are the type of assholes that I'm friends with. Like, somebody that just got to be a pain in the ass to try to prove you wrong just for the sake of trying to prove you wrong, and that's that. Like, that's the type of assholes that are my friends and that I gravitate towards all the time. Because I knew he was just trying to be an asshole and trying to be funny, I went along with it, and I always laughed, and I always actually told him what I was doing, just because, again, I'm an asshole like that too. So I'm like, you're not gonna win this, right? So I'm gonna actually tell you what I'm doing, because I'm pretty sure you didn't really want to know. Like, you're getting yourself into more than you asked for, so I'm gonna give it to you. That's what my method was. But then I guess I underestimated his personality, because he's a social person. So we actually would end up having conversations, but still, nothing remotely romantic about it at all. And it was just like chill, like it was just chill. Like, one thing we did like doing was exchanging relationship stories, because hello, that's what I talk about here on my channel. It's something that I really do like to talk about, and I love getting people's point of view on not only things that they've experienced, but just things that I think I've experienced. You know, things that I've experienced. Sometimes I'll ask somebody if they've been through that too, and it really helps me to kind of understand what kind of person you are if you can have conversations like that with me. I want to feel like I can talk with my friends about anything, and that's what it felt like between us. Like, we felt like, well, at least I felt as though I can talk to him about anything, and it was fun. I was like, wow, I have a new friend, this is cool, right? And sorry, that was getting on my nerves. Okay, so yeah, the what you doing text eventually ended up in him actually pulling up one day. So this was in July. I had came back from a trip, and he texted me asked me what I was doing. It was a Friday, and I literally wasn't really doing anything, just hanging out with the fam, but we kind of all were in our own little areas. And so I was like, I guess I ain't doing anything now. I think we're done, like, being around each other, meaning me and my family. I think we were like, all right, this is about to be wrapped up. So that's the vibe that I was getting from everybody else, but I wasn't sure if I was ready to just like chill just yet, but I also wasn't ready to turn up either. So I was just kind of in this weird space, like, I mean, I don't know, what am I doing? I'm not doing anything. So that's what I told him. I was like, I ain't doing nothing. And he was like, I think he said something along the lines of like, do you want to, no, he said something like, I'm about to, what did he say? I don't know exactly what he said, but basically the point was he wanted to pull up, like he wanted to come hang out. So I was like, well shit, pull up then. And So he did. He pulled up. Now, normally when I tell people to pull up, they don't. Like, their follow through sucks. A lot of times guys will be like, I'm so close to where you live, like you right down the street from me, I'm around there all the time, blah blah blah. So anyway, the secret is, normally I don't be ready when these guys, if these guys actually pull up. I do not get ready until the dude says I am on my way. I will be there in 20 minutes. Like, that's when I'll start actually getting ready. But other than that, I'm not getting ready because they be swelling. They don't be about that life for real. But I was definitely wrong about this one. And y'all, I was not ready. Like, I was still not ready. At all. So another one of our running jokes that we had was about my edges. Now y'all, if you didn't see my videos, if you've been here a while, you know I like to lay them baby hairs. And if you saw my Throwback Thursday photo, I think from last week, you will see that Abu has been laying them edges since the 80s, okay? Anyway, he was like, what did he do? He texted me and said, he said, did you lay your edges? He was like, is your edges cool? And I was like, no, I did not. Because you got here a lot faster than I expected, number one. I told you I've been traveling, so I look dusty. I look terrible, but I mean, you're here now, so I'm just gonna come downstairs. Like, I'll see you in a few seconds. So yeah, I had my hair in a puff, curls weren't defined, edges weren't laid, didn't have no makeup on. I didn't even have on a cute outfit. I had on some sneakers and some jeans and a shirt, and I just was like, fuck it. I mean, this ain't no date anyways, it's just my homie from school. So yeah, I don't really need to do the most. And even he said the same thing. He was like, it's just me. You don't gotta be looking like over the top or anything. And I was thinking to myself, well, I'm glad you feel that way, because I surely don't. Like, I look a hot mess right now. And that's exactly what I told him. So anyway, that was our first night. So the first time that we hung out, we went to a bar around my neighborhood. Well, actually a restaurant slash bar in my neighborhood. And we hung out there for a little bit. And then he got something to eat, but then we just took it back to my building and hung out on the roof for hours, actually, for a long time. And then eventually he went home. He made it a point to let me know that if I wanted to hang out with him the following day, to just hit him up. And I was like, yeah, we could definitely hang out. So he was like, yeah, okay, so don't forget to hit me up. And he said it like twice. So I was like, okay, he's actually serious, because he said it more than once. Because, you know, sometimes people say that. Like, that's something that we say at the end of the night, almost like, just seems like the right thing to say, like the polite thing to say. But by him repeating himself, it made me feel like, okay, he's serious. He does want to kick it again. And I'm like, I had fun tonight and we didn't even do anything. So yeah, I'll kick it with him tomorrow. So the next day rolls around, and I made it a point to make sure that I took the time out to hit him up, you know. And he, you know, he let me know to just call him because he's going to be cleaning all day. So I was like, all right, that's different. He didn't say text me. He said call me. All right, that's cool. I will call you. So bam, I called him, and I told him what the deal was. We made plans or whatever like that. I went and did what I had to do for that day, and then we met up after that, and we spent the whole day and pretty much the whole night just hanging out, just doing random things, like just random stuff. He took me to places in the city that I have not even been to, which was cool because, like I said, y'all know I stay out the way. I don't really get out like that. And I have been away from the area, from the DMV area, for like 7.5 years. I was in Atlanta, and things have changed. So stuff that was relevant back when I was still here, that stuff is long gone. So he like kind of took me around and showed me things that I just didn't even know was a thing, right? So that was fun. Whole time, we're still just what I like to call friending around. Like, we were literally just hanging out. There was not really a date per se. Like, we weren't dating, like we weren't going on dates. It was just, hey, you want to kick it? Sure, I want to kick it. And we were just hanging out. And I think even at the time, neither one of us was like really paying attention to the vibe or any feelings. Like, I think we legit was just enjoying each other's company, like just hanging out. So bam, fast forward to the end of that night. The next day I went to a day party, which was a birthday party, and it was out in the city, and I hit him and I was like, pull up. So he pulled up, and he don't even do clubs, and he was actually gonna come in the club, but by then we were so fried, me and my brother and his friends, like we were all so fried that it was time to go. And the sun was still up, so it was a good time to go anyway. So we left, and as we were leaving out of the club, there he was, like right there. He was like, oh, I was trying to find a parking spot. I was like, well, don't even park, like let's just go. So I hopped in the car. Well, he met my brother, and come to find out, our siblings know each other, they're friends. Anyway, so we hop in the car, whatever like that. I hop in the car, whatever, and we just, again, hang out. Like we did not do anything special, like at all. But oddly enough, that was the night that he met my parents as well, which was very weird and sudden and just like a little bit too much too soon. And again, we still weren't on that whole like, ooh, I like you thing. Like that was not there. It was not, neither one of us acknowledged it. Oh, and he met my cousin because she was in town. And I was just like, I have like friends that I've been friends with for years that haven't even met my parents yet. And you just met 4 people that's important to me. Wow, that was fast. Like that was out of our control, because I mean, come on, I couldn't like be in the same area as my parents and not go speak. Like I was raised better than that. My mama would have snatched my wig off my head. Okay, like you just don't do that. That's when I felt like things kind of felt slightly weird, because I'm like, I'm hoping my parents don't get the wrong idea. They're gonna think that like we're dating. And my mom had already inquired. She was like, you've been hanging out with him a lot. And I'm just thinking to myself, it's only been 2 days. But my mama knows me, like I'm usually one and done, like after the first date. But that was the thing, it was never a date. So I guess that's why it just didn't feel weird to me. It was just like, oh, I'm gonna go hang out. Oh, he's here, I'm gonna go hang out. Like, I mean, his pull-up game was strong. I just thought maybe he just really liked hanging out with me, because I really liked hanging out with him. I didn't think anything of it. So that's what happened on Sunday. He eventually went home. It wasn't until the next day that I realized, dang, T, you just spent Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with this person that you've been texting with all day today on Monday. And then he called me when he got off of work, and then we were on the phone for like 4 hours. Then we took a break. Then we got on the phone again for another 2 hours. But here is the thing, y'all. Here's the thing. Here's the issue. Here's the reason why the beginning of this, when I announced that this was a story time, that it sounds so somber. It was on Monday during that conversation, during those phone conversations, that I found out that he had a girlfriend. Now, at the time, I really wasn't tripping when he said it, because it was just like, oh, okay. Now, ordinarily, yes, I ask that question when I hang out with people, especially guys, whether we're just hanging out chilling or if I'm interested in them. I'm still going to ask that question. But for some reason, that never came up the whole time. Like, I never thought to ask them that question. I mean, we were just hanging out so tough that it just didn't seem like it was a relevant question, I guess. Or I just was being neglectful. I don't know what it was, but I didn't think about it. And he admitted that on his side, he didn't want to just be presumptuous and just offer that information, because he was like, we were just supposed to be kicking it, so I didn't want to just offer that information to you and making you feel like you was checking for me when you probably weren't. And I was like, well, you know what, I can kind of understand it from that point of view, because I think I would have felt that way too. I appreciated the situation he was in, because again, he wasn't, the intention of us hanging out was never on that level, on the, oh, I like this person, or I want to do something with this person. It was just some random ass chill shit. That's just really what it was. So yeah, it wasn't until about the 4th day into it that I realized that I was really looking forward to talking to him every day. So yeah, when he told me about the girlfriend, I really wasn't tripping. I was still just trying to wrap my head around everything that was going on anyway. But one thing that I could say that I didn't know was that I really did look forward to hearing from him on a daily basis. But I also have another friend that I'm like that with, that's just a strict platonic friend, somebody I've been friends with since high school. He's married, and I do look forward to talking to him every day. Like, that's my friend. You know, if a day goes by and I don't hear from him, I'm feeling some type of way. Like, I gotta check on him to make sure he's still alive, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So, like, people sometimes become a part of your routine, and he quickly became a part of mine. And not only did he become a part of my routine, but he became a part of, well, the best part of my days. Like, as the week continued, we talked every single day. Every day we talked. And then the next week, we talked every single day. Meanwhile, in between all of that, we still was, like, you know, linking up and hanging out. But still, we never hugged, we never kissed, well, finally we hugged one time. But it wasn't even like, it was still like a little sad church hug. It wasn't even like, you know what I mean? Like, especially once I found out that he had a girlfriend, like, it was like, all right, we gotta keep, you know, a distance to a certain extent. Like, we could be cool, but we gotta keep it cute, because you got a whole girlfriend, right? Like, I gotta respect that. So, fast forward, because this is getting really long. Eventually, as time progressed, I had to be honest with myself and my feelings. It was like, it got to the point where I had to have him as like a part of my day, every single day. I didn't care if it was the phone, the text message, if I saw him, like, it just, like, every time that I had free time, it felt like he needed to occupy that space in some way. And I have never, y'all, like, ever in my life have I ever felt like this about anybody that I was not physically intimate with. Like, a lot of times the physical intimacy of being with somebody, the lustfulness will take over. And that's why this felt different, because it didn't feel like lust. Like, it doesn't feel like lust. It doesn't feel like I'm lusting for you. I crave the conversation. I crave the, you know, companionship. I crave him just being around me. Like, not necessarily any of the other stuff, because we hadn't done anything else. We haven't done anything at all. And it's like mind-boggling, because I have literally never felt this way about somebody. Where did this come from? Like, where did this, like, what? You being the girl that I am, I had to sit him down and tell him about this. So I told him I wanted to talk to him, and he ain't no punk ass dude. So what did he do? He pulled up, and we had a face-to-face conversation. Something that I appreciate that I didn't even get sometimes from guys that I was actually in a relationship with. Like, really? This dude is doing all the things that is like, really? This is so annoying. You're somebody else's whole boyfriend. Like, I can't do shit with that. So, anyway, you know, I told him how I felt and asked him basically, am I the only one that is feeling this shit? Like, am I tripping, or is this vibe, like, insane? And with it being insane, is it kind of flowing in a different direction than we both expected? Basically, do you like me? And he confirmed everything. He confirmed stuff via text. He confirmed stuff in person, like everything. And it was during the sit down that I told him, you know what? We can be friends, like, on social media and maybe text every now and again. You know, we could just, maybe we need to just keep the shit electronic right now, because you have a girlfriend, you're in a relationship, and if you're really trying to make this thing work as your friend, I have to remove myself from this equation, because I'm a new friend according to her. So of course she's gonna be pissed. Of course she's gonna have a problem with our friendship. I don't blame her, right? I don't at all. Like, it makes complete sense. If she didn't feel some type of way, you should be concerned. So anyway, so it felt like, just as your friend, I need to bow out gracefully and give you space to do what it is you need to do and to see this relationship out the way you need to see it out. Give it a real try, because why half-ass do it? Like, he was on some, he had no intentions of even considering no longer hanging out with me or no longer communicating with me, no matter how uncomfortable it made her. But I just felt like, well, now you're self-sabotaging. Like, you're going to sabotage your relationship because now I'm going to be a factor when I'm not even a real factor. We ain't even doing shit. And it's no need to create that insecurity into your relationship or introduce that type of an insecurity into your relationship if you're really trying to make it work. So I call myself doing the mature thing, y'all. And I said, listen, let's just keep it, you know, keep a distance. Let's not do those solo missions no more. Because it wasn't even like we was hanging out with groups of people or something. It was just me and him hanging out. And I mean, she's right. That could cause room for disaster, because it was also in that conversation that I let him know, should some shit go down, because the way I feel right now, and the fact that I'm owning up to it and I'm telling you, the way I feel, I'm a single woman. I ain't make no commitment to nobody. And I'm going to tell you right now, should some shit go down and it gets hot and heavy, I'm not stopping anything. I'm not going to be the cooler head. You're going to have to take control and stop everything if that's the case. And if you don't, then whoop, I guess you just cheated on your girlfriend. And I just don't want you to be in that position. Like, I don't want to put you in that position. I don't think it's fair to your relationship or even to me. He didn't really like that idea, but of course, because he's respectful and he's a good guy, he went along with it. He said, if this is what you want, I have no choice but to respect that, and that's what we did. Y'all, that shit lasted for like 3 days. Ah, fuck. That shit lasted for like 3 or 4 days, maybe. The not seeing him thing. I had to recant all that shit. I was like, listen, I cannot not want to see you. Like, I don't know how to live my life like this. I really do need to see you. I really do. I feel like I do need to hang out with you. I really enjoy being around you. And the women in my life were all like, girl, you better go get your man. He ain't married. And it's like, you know what? Y'all right. I get it. But still, at the same time, when it all came down to it, even after I went back and retracted all that and said, hey, fuck it, I still want to hang out anyway, about last week, I think. Yeah, last week I had to just be like, you know what? We really just need to stop. Everything in terms of our relationship seemed easy, and not in a derogatory way. It was more so we didn't try to do anything. We didn't try to feel anything for each other. If anything, I feel like I was trying to not feel things for him. But nothing was forced. Nothing was forced. Our conversations aren't forced. I honestly feel like he could call me right now and we haven't talked in over a week, and it sucks. But I feel like he could call me right now and we could pick up where we left off like nothing happened. Like there was never a break. Like, that's how crazy it is. Like, he could call me right now and say he downstairs, and I will go down there. Like, I'm gonna go see him. Like, I'm just gonna do it. Like, I can't help that. But I have to be honest. I just can't be just his friend. So I had to back out of that, because I don't think he's a bad guy, and I just don't want to put him in a position to look like a bad guy either. So it is what it is. Our last phone call was awful, the way it ended. But what can you do? I basically told him that we have to stop everything because you made your decision. I feel like I lost a friend, and that never feels good. And I feel like I've lost a lot of friends that aren't even dead, you know? But at the end of the day, I couldn't let him be that guy, because when it came to our relationship, he has been nothing but respectful towards me. And I felt like it was my duty to be respectful towards him in his relationship, even though he had no intention of ever stopping talking to me. Even if it did ruin his relationship, it just seemed like the right thing to do. Life is too short. It's not a day that goes by that I don't miss this person, though. It's not a day that doesn't go by that I just wish he would call me or text me. Nowadays, it's only been freaking a week and a half or something like that. The longest week and a half of my life. But you know, they say that people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, and it's just a matter of deciphering which one it is for him. Maybe we was just the distraction that each other needed at the time, or so that's a season. Or maybe me coming into his life made his relationship with his girlfriend stronger, so that's a reason. And if it's a lifetime, then nothing will stop us from being friends again, if that's really what we're supposed to do. So there's that. So guys, I just spilled all my tea on that. If you have a similar story, tell me about it. Drop it down below. Let's chat it out. Let's cry together, y'all. No, seriously though. Tell me what you would have done differently, I guess. Or tell me if you think I did the right thing. Should I have gone and gotten my man? Or was I right to just let it go and let it be? Let go and let God. That's my theory. Anyway. That's all I got, y'all. Until next time. Bye.